This is a Headgum original.
Jake and Amir, two Jews that you can't forget. In 2010, they were big on the internet. But then 3 failed pilots, 2 rejected movie scripts. One last-ditch effort to try and stop their career from going to shit. Segment. Another podcast. Segment. Each app different from the last. Segment. It's the Swiss Army knife of shows. Meet your 2 pathetic hosts. Segment.
Yeah. I've had a hard day.
Why?
Because I've been, as you're aware, I can't record in the studio in New York, in Manhattan. Are you aware of the issue? This ongoing glitch audio. I do keep on bringing it up, and I feel like I'm being gaslit. Nobody really responds to it. But there is...
Oh, wait, sorry. I said, why do you think I care? Not like, why are you having a bad day?
No, I didn't even...
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I totally misled you. I don't want to know.
For me,
I feel bad
you mismeant. I thought you were being
interested.
compassionate or something. No,
God,
no.
I'm so.
You don't.
It
care.
breaks my heart to see you
I don't
try
think
to
you're
explain
sorry.
it to me.
Yeah,
when I don't,
no, your heart's
I
not
really
broken.
Don't care.
Your heart's not
swear.
existent.
I'm so empathetic. I can't even know.
You're crying, but for the wrong
it
reason.
ruins my day.
That you're not
anyway,
an empath.
Continue.
So what it's the net result has been, because I built a lot of my life around, the Union Square area. So there are like appointments. There's the gym. There's there's stuff that I do there.
You like to be there.
Yeah, and then ideally, the perfect world is I go about my life in that area. But what's ended up happening, because I can't record, I will go in. I'm basically nowhere for more than an hour.
You have to go there to do your other stuff, but then you can't stay there for the work stuff. You have to go somewhere else for the work stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like in the office from like 10 to noon because I want to see people, but then I have to record, so I need to come back to Brooklyn. And that doesn't seem like it's the right move for us for owning a podcast network, right?
You should be able to record where you pay to rent the recording space.
Yeah. We invested a lot of time and money and effort into that space.
And then you see other people recording there, and you're like, am I taking crazy pills, or like, what are they doing?
Yeah, well, they have the full-time. They've got the full-time engineer who is they are getting their levels adjusted on the fly. Someone's able to monitor their audio because this tech glitch interference will come in and out.
They'll sort of do it as it comes in, but you don't have access.
Right, because I'll listen to the audio. I'll do an audio test, and then I'll start recording, and I'll listen to the audio later, and it'll just be like beep, 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 beep. And we had somebody come into the office and tell us that it's like radio interference or cell tower interference, and then
invisible danger.
Yeah. So like we're on too high of a floor, so we're just getting all of this like interference that we have no control over.
It's floating through the ether, and you don't know when and where it is.
Yeah. So then just, zooming it really far in on my own personal plight, because I'm constantly moving, I find it very hard to eat. So
like, when do you even take an hour to sit down and have food?
Yeah,
you have to
I'm
sort of
here,
do
then I have to
transit.
get here. Yeah, exactly. So then like I got a wrap earlier, but then I got to the office, I had to record. I went to eat the wrap, and the dressing had soaked through.
It's wet.
It was so
a wrap
crumbled
has
in my
a very
hand.
short shelf life.
Yeah,
and even when it's dry, it spills everywhere. It's almost unable to be eaten well.
It was desperately sad. The worst way to eat a wrap is
chicken salad.
It was it was a build your own wrap. It was the spring the arugula, the baby spinach.
And then it just sort of spills out, and you have to lift it up with the wet tortilla.
Like a flower.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
cold wet tortilla.
I'm trying to keep it together, but then you're almost like, no,
Ethiopian food, right?
I'm not going to keep it together.
Assembling mini sandwiches.
Right. I just spread out the paper below me, and I was like, I'm just going to put my face as close to the food as possible and kind of suck it up like a soup. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like a ranch soup.
And then, of course,
ranch soup.
It's 4:15, and that's kind of lunch. So what am I thinking I'm going to do for dinner? I just don't really.
And dinner happens early when you have a kid, right? Like
Dinner's
a lot of people I know
5:15.
with kids, they're like,
dinner is
they'll
in
have
an
dinner
hour.
And it's, and they'll be finishing up dinner and it's 5:45.
Yeah.
And then you're like, because I got to do the bedtime routine.
Right. Yes. Then it's the whole bedtime
what happens
routine.
at 7 or 8? You had a wrap at 4:15.
Yeah.
And then you had an apricot at 5:30.
Right.
You're sort of shit out of luck.
Yeah. That's when you have the big bowl of ice cream for kind of like a large dessert that'll make you feel bad about yourself when you go to bed. That's that's the ideal.
Okay, but this segment that you wanted to start with has nothing to do with any.
No,
of
I
this,
just wanted to complain because I was thinking about the rap experience that I had. It really is. It's mostly two things because I wouldn't complain about dinner or bath time or anything like that. Really, it's the audio issue and the rap issue. Those are the two.
The lack of lunch time.
Yeah, it's the raps and the glitch. But anyway, what I have for us is
well, we should say this is segments.
Oh, right.
A segmented podcast starring us, and this is the beginning of year 2 for us. Last week was the 52 segment spectacular, the Segmania. The reviews were in. They said they loved it, but they're happy it wasn't every week. Yeah,
interesting. So
it was a nice year-end spectacular.
Right. So maybe it's just something we do annually.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's the best of both worlds. Maybe
that makes sense. So for this segment. This is a personality quiz that we've actually done as part of like a Headgum bonding thing before, but it was a retreat that you weren't on.
The Nashville one.
Yeah, the Nashville one. So I wanted us to do it together. And actually, I thought it would be interesting if we took it for each other.
So I take yours, you take mine?
Right, exactly. So
At the same time?
Yeah, we'll answer both of these questions together. Me for you, you for me. We can discuss it if we want. The thing that I like about this test is it's not multiple choice, it's a spectrum. So like it's going to give you two kind of like opposite things. And you are going to drag this slider more towards which one you think you are. So the first question is nerd jock.
Drag that slider, King.
Right now the slider is in the 50-50. And I think for you, you're mostly nerd, but some of your nerddom goes into sports, which is why I think I'm going to put you at like 75% nerd, 25% jock. 75%
nerd, 25% jock?
Yeah.
Interesting. You're sort of the equal but opposite version of that. Like have a Dungeons and Dragons side of you, which makes you a nerd, and you like some sports, but not as much as I do. Mm-hmm. But you don't appear to be nerdy.
Right.
You don't have like glasses and like suspenders and like.
Yeah. I don't have a pocket protector.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's tough. It's almost, I was going to say 50-50 for both of us. Like we're both sort of equal parts nerds and jocks.
Interesting. I think you're nerd
like
presenting,
very
though.
Fit. And I'm more deceptively athletic. Like if you look at me, you wouldn't think I'm good at any sports, but I'm like decent at some of them.
Right. And if you look at me, you'd think I'm good at some sports, but I'm actually bad at all of them.
Right. Which is why I think we're sort of more 50-50 than you think. Because I know really big nerds and really big jocks, and we're just not there yet.
Interesting. So you think truly 50-50? I don't think I'm 50% nerd. I just don't. I don't see it.
Well, you love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but not with 50% of my being.
But you paint D&D miniatures.
Yeah.
How low of a nerd do you want to go?
I mean,
like
I think I'm 25. I think that's
50.
20. I think that's a quarter of me. I do think that's a quarter.
Miniatures,
there's 36 questions, okay? So let's just fucking settle on this. You're answering for me. I have no control. You can put 50-50. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
What? Did you send me a link, or
yes,
am I
sent
just
you
filling
a link.
this out?
I sent you the link.
Where?
To your text messages. To your text messages. And it does say it's delivered. And it says delivered quietly because it looks like you turned your notifications off.
That's right.
So maybe
I
it was
left you
too
on
quiet
red
for you.
Actually, mine is not Nerd Jock. I think it's a random order.
Oh, interesting. All right. So I'm giving you
Yeah.
what I initially said, 75-25. What's yours? What's your question for me?
It's a word I don't know, which makes me less of a nerd, I think. Arcane versus mainstream.
Oh, arcane. I mean, I guess what's the opposite?
I would assume is the opposite of mainstream, like niche,
Yeah.
esoteric.
Okay. Mysterious or secret?
Yeah. I would think you're more mainstream.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Like
pretty
your-
out there, pretty
Your
basic.
tastes are pretty normal.
Yeah. So what's the,
I mean, you
what
had
are
a
you gonna
fucking
drag?
rap.
Yeah, chicken
You know
wrap.
what I mean?
But I put vinegar on
Yeah.
it. That's kind of interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So give me a
actually.
point in that arcane category.
I'll give you 75% mainstream. Because, again, you do have a secret family that nobody knows about.
Right. Okay. Yours is your next question. Sarcastic or genuine? I think I'm going to put you at 100% sarcastic. It's rare.
Oh, that's a really good answer.
Nice. Yeah. I don't.
Thank you.
I guess I saw you be genuine at your wedding. So I'll do 2% genuine, 98% sarcastic.
Thank you. I'm low fat milk in terms of genuineness.
Yeah. What's your question for me?
Fresh versus stinky.
Nice.
I feel like in the past you used to be pretty stinky. Like you used to not prioritize showers.
Mm-hmm.
You would work out and then just put on clothes and go back out like that.
Yeah.
You would drink 5-hour energy for dinner.
Yeah.
Not necessarily prioritize hygiene.
I was the man.
I think in the last like 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
you've sort of leaned into the routine. You
Yeah.
got the water pick. You like to shower. Now you have a skincare routine. I think with aging and fatherhood, you've sort of slowed your roll. And you've
Mm-hmm.
always been pretty like anti-mess, which is hygienic in a way.
That's
like
true.
you don't necessarily like you'll wipe down. You brush your teeth and there's water everywhere. You're drying that off after every use,
For
right?
sure. For sure. Yeah.
For sure.
For sure,
So I
for
gotta go 80% fresh at this point.
I appreciate that. I
Minimal
really appreciate
stink.
That. Your question number 3 is frugal versus lavish. It's
Whoa.
lavish, bitch.
What was that? Was that?
It was like an Instagram
or a Tumblr?
Yeah, it was like an Instagram kid that had a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're almost entirely frugal. I would say you're like 85% frugal.
Yeah, I'm very unlavish in my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I like to be comfortable more than anything.
You had the same you just got a new backpack after 15 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll drive a Mazda till I die stuff.
Right. I might move it to 90% frugal.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to move it to 90% frugal.
Use this slider to indicate where you fall on this spectrum. High tech versus low tech for you. I think you're pretty high tech. You are always wanting the new phone if you don't have it.
Right.
You like the projector. You're always like doing research as to like the best, thinnest, newest technologies. You're not necessarily like a hacker. Like you're not building a computer.
Right.
So
Right.
you're not like
I'm not
going
like
so
smart
into the
about
weeds.
tech, but I do. I guess I like
but
gear.
you do. Yeah, you like gear. I'll do 80-20 high tech.
Wow. All right. Yours is dunce genius. I feel like you're really in
Whoa.
between because you're really
don't think
smart
so.
at math, but like
Smart.
you barely know how
That's
your
it.
laundry works. Like,
Yeah, I know how it works.
yeah.
You put water on it.
I guess you're pretty smart. I'll give you,
I guess you're pretty smart.
I think
I guess I'm really smart.
there's a lot
I guess
of stuff.
I'm really
There's like
smart.
basic shit that you don't know, but maybe that's more like book smart, street smart. So
Yeah, it is more book
And you
smart.
did pretty well on your SATs. I'll put you at 75%.
I did very well.
You have
Highly
to relax.
gifted.
I'm putting you at 75% genius. 75%
Yeah.
genius. That's pretty good.
And when I get to yours, I'm putting 100% dumbass.
We'll
for
see if you have
answering
the same
that
question.
incorrectly.
You might not even.
I think it's the same one in the wrong order, which makes me smart and you stupid. So then we can continue on.
All right.
Now, as to where I was, loyal versus traitorous for you.
Interesting.
Loyal versus traitorous.
You know where I am.
feel like you're, yeah, you used to be traitorous, but now you're more loyal. You like your family a lot. You're, texting, calling, you're in constant communication. You travel with your family still as an adult. That's still loyal. You got the same friends that you used to, almost to a fault.
Right.
Who's your newest
Too
friend?
loyal.
Me? Yeah.
You're not my friend.
I'll go 85. Really? I'll go 85% loyal.
Thanks, man.
These hoes ain't traitor.
Formal versus intimate. I guess
Those
that's
don't seem like opposites to me.
well. Formal is like hello, how are you? You're kind of almost like aloof. Intimate,
right?
I don't think you're very intimate at all. You don't let people into that inner circle.
Intimate.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm intimate or formal.
I think you are more formal. You're guarded.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you at. But I think you're also approachable.
Do 69.
I just landed on 69, so I will do it.
That's funny.
Thank you.
Another 2 words that I don't understand how they're opposite for you: haunted or blissful. Haunted or blissful.
Oh.
I think that means like you go through life joyously ignorant, like you're just like a happy-go-lucky cool dude, or haunted, more cynical, naive, angry, sort of like woe is me style.
Right.
And as you described the rap incident, I fear I'm going to have to go.
I'm not
Happy
haunted. I'll
Halloween,
never think of it again.
80% haunted.
That's so fucking wrong. And you know it. And I'll never forget this.
Haunted. Again, you used to be more blissful. Didn't we all?
You think
Ignorance was
80%
fun.
haunted? That's really painful
you know
for me
too
to
much. You know too much.
I
You're
disagree.
knowledgeable, and that makes you cynical,
Absolutely
angry, and
disagree.
yes, boo, haunted.
That's so fucking wrong. Okay, yours is artistic versus scientific. I think you're literally
this one's good.
50-50 because you
I would
love
say that
stats
too.
and numbers and data, but you're also you're into the comedy and the arts and your artistic expression.
Yeah.
It's literally 50-50. Next question.
I'll give that to you. 6 of 36 here. This is going to take a while.
Yeah.
Use the slider to indicate, is Jake more obedient or rebellious? Obedient and loyal were sort of overlapping. Like, again, you used to be more rebellious. You would skip school. You would do drugs. Dare I say you would deal drugs in high school.
Yeah.
That's pretty rebellious.
I was rebelling, to be sure.
Yeah, but now, at age 39, 8, whatever, 8 or 9.
39.
39, I feel like your rebellious days are behind you. Now you're just haunted and obedient.
Don't think I'm that obedient.
Yeah, you're like, you have a fucking routine. You got to be here at this time, home at this
That's
time.
true.
You're rarely like, yeah, I blew it off. I went to the bar with my friends. Sorry,
But I still don't like to be told what to do. Like, I wouldn't.
Yes, but you do it.
Yes, you're right.
You little bitch.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
75% obedient.
I disagree.
With a
You're
quarter.
ruining this for me. You are orderly versus
I
chaotic.
know you better than you know yourself.
I think this is one also might be another kind of you don't use
50-50.
you present like you have things in order, but like when I see the way you've like packed or something, I'm like, oh my God, your stuff is everywhere. You didn't bring enough socks. Your phone is dead. I do feel like you're often kind of winging it. So I'm going to give you.
I present organized.
I'm going to go 60% chaotic.
All right, I'll allow that. That's kind of fun. Juvenile versus mature. I mean, it feels like everything you used to be one thing and now you're the other. You used to be juvenile. You used to be fly by the seat of your pants, don't know, spending too much money, going out too much.
Yeah.
And now you're just fucking
Haunted.
at home watching a Netflix rom-com with headphones on so that you don't wake the baby.
Still thinking about my rap, unable to let it go.
Haunted as fuck, but mature to a fault. 85% mature.
Yeah, you can't be less than that if you're a dad, I don't think. Deranged.
Well, you can. You could just be sort of all over the place.
Deranged
and then
versus
your spouse
reasonable.
is picking up the slack. Deranged and reasonable?
I think you're 80% reasonable.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Maybe even 85% reasonable. You're not very deranged at all.
No, yeah, I'm not.
But sometimes you're so reasonable that it is deranged.
Oh, interesting. So even if at 100, you would have to be knocked down to 10.
Right.
That's a deranged
Like
way
somebody
to live.
punches you in the teeth on the street. You're like, I don't know. He had a point. Like,
Yeah.
what was he
It's
thinking?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always sort of try to give people, especially strangers, the benefit of the doubt. Masculine or feminine for you?
You
I don't
fucking know
see
which
how
way to
you're-
put it, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go 100%. Hey,
You do like poetry.
100% masculine, dude.
I'll do 90%.
That's cool.
Just because you like poetry
Yeah.
and rom-coms and your mommy.
I do love my mom. Okay, now
Which is
we're
pretty feminine.
Now we're catching up here. Obedient and rebellious. This is for you. I think you're so damn obedient. You're 95% obedient.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild or tame for you? I mean, these are all sort of overlapping the same thing. You used to be a crazy, impulsive,
But I still have a wild side.
fly by
That's
the seat
not
of your
fair.
pants guy.
I'm surfing. I'm
Yeah,
rock
but it's
climbing
also
2 weeks ago. A few weeks
pre-planned.
ago, that was
yeah, it's
a
like
little
premeditated.
extreme.
Yeah,
Premeditated, but it's
Yeah,
risk
you have to
taking.
like. I have it like all
I have a
planned
wild
out.
side.
Do you have a Google calendar that says go rock climbing?
No, I didn't. I did have, yes, technically.
Just to make sure it's shared with Jill.
Yeah.
You know it's shared with Jill. Do you share your location with her?
Of course.
That's absolutely an unwild, tame behavior. I'm giving you 75% tame.
That's fair. Haunted versus blissful. I think you're.
Oh, that's what I had.
Yeah, I think you're pretty blissful. You don't let a lot of negativity in, but you don't. I'm not going to give you full bliss because I don't think you let a lot of emotion in general. So you're not going to ever be 100% bliss. You're 69% blissful.
That's funny. Yeah, I would say I'm haunted, but I'm sort of nihilistic about it. Like, well, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, even though we're all going to die. So it's like, I'm not necessarily like everything is going well, but at the same time, I'm not letting it affect me. Alpha versus beta for you. What do you think that means? Like how much of a leader versus a follower you are?
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's tough too. Alpha v beta. It really depends on the context. Like,
Yeah.
in some situations, you're the leader. In some situations, you're the follower, which is necessary. Nobody wants somebody who's like, I'm trying to be in charge all the time. I'll
Right.
go 60% alpha.
Yeah. That feels right.
Maybe 65.
Very cool. Fresh versus stinky. You do have stories about how you've like shitted in Airbnb beds and thrown up in their house plants.
Accidentally. Accidentally.
You'll often pass gas in inopportune times because you'd rather
I'll fart.
everybody else
Instead,
is
I'm trying to get the stinky out of me.
right, exactly.
And
You,
become fresher on the
I
day.
think
Under fresher.
you're 68%. You're 70% stinky.
Thank you. Deep versus shallow for you. Wow, this one's also tough. Because, like, there is some depth to you, but at the end of the day, you do just like getting drunk and eating a cheeseburger, watching a Marvel movie, and sort of.
That's old me. That was wild me.
yeah.
That was untamed, unhaunted, all bliss me.
Yeah. How deep can you be while still loving porn? You know what I mean? Like, you
Right.
have a lot of basic needs.
Yeah.
/ desires.
Basic alpha
This is
needs.
tough. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I should leave it in the middle because every time I move it from one side to another, I'm like, that doesn't feel true. So I'll go exactly 50% between deep and shallow.
Fair enough. Blue collar versus ivory tower. I feel like you've been judging me through this whole entire experience so far. You're 80% ivory tower. You went to a very,
Interesting.
very prestigious college.
I went to a public university. There's nothing more blue collar than that.
All right. I'll put you at 75% then.
Yes. All right, we got to take a break because we're not going to finish this all. Maybe we'll answer some during the break.
That's a good idea.
Thank you to Uncommon Goods for sponsoring this episode of our show.
Thank you.
It's holiday season.
Right.
Which means you have to get people gifts.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't know what to buy,
Right.
Uncommon Goods makes that exercise fun, exciting, easy, and affordable.
That's right. Next time you're thinking, what do I get this person? What do I get this person? You just go to Uncommon Goods.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good ideas.
There's good ideas for him, for her, for kids, bestsellers, housewarming. And it's not just holiday season. You can get stuff for birthdays, weddings, all kinds of cool stuff that you wouldn't have any idea even existed. Like, for example, hot chocolate on a stick. Are you kidding me?
Whoa. And you're going to get that for me. That's awesome.
And I'm going to get you custom message shortbread cookies. You could
you.
lock me in a room for 1,000 years and I would never, ever come up with that idea.
Right.
Uncommon Goods not only came up with it, but they freaking have it for sale.
Right on.
They help support artists and small independent businesses. So by using them, you help support artists and small independent businesses.
Gorgeous.
So from holiday host and hostess gifts for the coolest kids for kids and teens, loved ones, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice.
Beautiful.
They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/segments.
Right on.
That's uncommongoods.com/segments for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Uncommon Goods.
Losers.
All right, we're back. We got to go through these a little faster. Sarcastic and genuine for you. I'll put a little more genuine
Yeah.
than sarcastic. 65 genuine, 35 sarcastic.
Poisonous versus nurturing for you. You're kind of toxic, but you do love your dog. So you're nurturing to Luke and Avital, but not much else. So I'm going to leave it at 50-50.
Adventurous versus stick in the mud. This is when I'll give you some points for the rock climbing, for the surfing. It is
Thank
all
you.
pre-planned, but at the same time, it's not easy to do these things and you still seek them out. So I'll go 90% adventurous
Wow.
for you.
Love that. Alpha versus beta. I'm going to give you, I don't think you really like to lead. I'm going to give you 65% beta.
Wow. I would have gone a lot higher beta for that. Thank you.
Really?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would have gone 90%.
Yeah, I was
beta.
gonna go higher and I felt bad.
Bossy versus meek. Since you were a little fucking meek bitch about that one.
Wow, look at you
Now
being an
it's
alpha.
time for the crows to come home to roost. I'll go 60% bossy, 40% meek.
That's fair.
You still want to be polite, but you do maybe a little more because you are a little stubborn, obstinate.
Right.
So
That's
I'll go
true.
70% bossy, 30% meek.
Okay. Same thing. Adventurous versus stick in the mud. You're kind of 75% stick in the mud, I think.
Yeah, I don't like to be uncomfortable. I'm usually like, you guys jump off that thing or swim to that rock and I'll see if it's easy and then I'll do it.
But you won't stand in anyone's way, which is why I'm going to give you 75% instead of any higher.
Yeah, it's like when you're on a hike and somebody's like, "Oh, you can eat these berries." I'm never going to be like, let's all eat these berries." I'm going to be like, "You eat the berries and then if I want, I'll eat the berries, but I'm not going to stop you from eating the berries."
For sure.
Are you more of an outlaw or a sheriff?
Probably more of an outlaw, wouldn't you say?
I don't know. Again, it's
I don't really like
used to be
policing people.
versus current.
Yeah, but I'm not
You know?
currently sheriffing anything. I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't think I care. I guess I'm not either, really. So you'd want to leave it
Let's
50-50.
do 55% outlaw.
Thank
a little
you.
more outlaw than sheriff.
Creative versus conventional. I think I might put you 65% creative because you are really creative, but we've taken a very conventional route now. You know, we have steady podcasting jobs.
Okay, spiritual for you versus skeptical. I mean, it's almost 100% skeptical with how, just like talking about religion and faith and God, but you do have some sort of sarcastic, or not sarcastic, but superstitious tendencies.
Yeah.
Which is like a spirituality adjacent.
And I do believe in like the universe and energy, and I believe in some like crunchy hippie stuff too. I just don't believe in God spiritual.
I'll go 85% skeptical for you, 15% for the other stuff.
Okay, high tech versus low tech. I think you're incredibly high tech. You're heavily invested in cryptocurrency.
I am over invested.
Yeah,
I am all in to the point of high risk, low reward.
You're obsessed with getting
non-diversified funds.
the mesh network or whatever it was, the fast cable in your neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Fiber, AT&T fiber.
Yeah.
Use the slider to indicate strict versus lenient for you. I don't know. I guess again, growing up, you were very not like you were the rebellious, lenient sort of style. And I feel like as a parent, you'll be a little more lax when it comes to Gemma's. Like if she's like, I want to smoke pot in high school, you could be like, I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But maybe you'll be like, as long as you tell me about
as
it.
long as we're
like
smoking together.
Yeah.
Not me.
So I'll go 70% lenient.
Thank you. Outlaw versus sheriff. I think like me, you're neither of these things. I'm just going to leave it
blank.
I'll put you at
Skip.
56% sheriff because you do kind of like to point things out when they're wrong.
I'm a whistleblower.
Yeah.
I'm a snitch.
You're a tattletale.
I'll blow up a fucking beach ball at a baseball game.
Exactly.
Social versus reclusive for you. See, this one is tough. Because you present as social.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not like geeked out if I invite you to like a game night. You're like, no, I want to just stay at home, not have a beer, but maybe a non-alcoholic beer, and watch a soccer game like that. You prefer that to a dinner party.
I'm a low-key homebody, but I'm
but you do like being social too. So I'll go 45% reclusive, but still social, up to 55%.
Okay. Wild versus tame. I think you're 85% tame. For no further discussion is needed.
Angel versus demonic for you. Inside us are two things.
Yeah.
Are you more of an angel or a demon? Gosh. Again, used to be more demon.
Way
now
more
you're a little more
demonic.
angel. So I'll keep it at 50-50 now.
Thank you.
For your current personality.
That's a lot of progress for me. I was 100% demon for a long time.
That's right.
Slovenly versus stylish.
Versus Slavically.
I
Would you
feel
say
like
I'm more dirty
one's-
or from Slovenia?
You used to be more stylish. I feel like you used to have like crisper clothes. Maybe when you were living with Marty.
Or like cooler haircuts, more fashionable shoes.
You've let that go a little bit. I think but I don't think you're slovenly. You're just more relaxed.
I mean, you can't, I'm more forward on comfort than style, which is sort of what has to happen as you grow old.
Yeah. So I'll put you at 60% slovenly.
Okay. Deranged versus reasonable. This one's pretty good. You're kind of deranged.
That's fair.
I'd say you're still kind of deranged.
Yeah.
Even in your reasonableness, it's a little deranged. So I'll go 65% deranged.
Cool. Creepy versus disarming. I think.
Who, me? Oh, why, I'm not creepy at all.
I don't think you're creepy, but I don't think you're disarming at all. You put people on edge. So I'm going to put you.
I'm standoffish.
Yeah. I'm going to put you at 60% creepy just because I can't put you at any more. You're not more disarming than creepy.
I'm pretty disarming. I'm very innocuous. You talk to strangers. They're very non-threatened by me.
No, I feel like I often hear from people who are like, oh, Amir doesn't like me. I don't think Amir likes me.
Not like, but definitely, I don't turn people off.
Yeah, but
I'm not creepy.
Look, I already made the answer. I locked it in.
Emotional versus logical for you. I would say you're more emotional than logical.
For
I'll go
sure.
80-20
Yeah, that
emotional.
ties into that deranged thing. Oh, I got the same question for you. Emotional versus logical. You are 95% logical, maybe even more.
Interesting.
The only thing that gives me...
That's why we get along, the yin and the yang.
Yeah, exactly.
Creative versus conventional. Right in the middle. I'll go a little more creative as a comedian. So I'll go 60% creative, 40% conventional.
Bossy versus meek. I think you're 90% meek, but 10% of the time you feel like a big man when you boss Avital around, don't you?
I would never. Slovenly versus stylish. You're not slovenly. You're like very specific about the clothes you wear and how they fit.
Right.
You try stuff on. You return stuff. You're on the blogs that are like, what's the stylish form of XYZ? Let me get this shirt. Does this fit me? I don't know. This doesn't feel right. Maybe I'll return it. What do you think of this sweater? Yeah. I can wear this sweater.
But then explain how I look bad all the time.
Well, how do you fucking compromise?
I think it's because of the commuting.
I really think it's the wrap. It got all over my fucking Hunter fleece jacket that I bought off Mr. Porter. I have to
for
return
$4,000 from Zania.
I'll go 80% stylish.
Thank you.
20% slovenly.
Okay, what do we got? Social versus reclusive. I think you seem reclusive, but you actually go out more than I do. Avital drags you out, so you are a little bit social, and you like watching sports.
We're kind of
with
the
people.
opposite. I present reclusive and I am social, and you present social but you're reclusive.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You're 65% social, I think, because you still do like doing
Thank you.
nothing.
Ivory tower versus blue collar. This one's kind of hard for me. Because, like, you do like to, like you had a truck, which is pretty blue collar, but then you traded in the truck and now you don't have the truck anymore. And you like renting nice cars. And, like, it's kind of like the stylish thing. You like to have the top of the line XYZ,
right,
which is a little ivory tower adjacent.
That's fair.
I'll go 65 ivory tower to 35% blue collar.
Yeah, that seems right. Juvenile versus mature. You're pretty juvenile, I think,
because I'll make jokes about anal sex.
Yeah, but you do have a house, so I have to admit that you're 40% mature.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Formal versus intimate. Again, I don't really understand the opposite attract version of this. I'll say you're more intimate.
That's true.
You like to get to know people.
Yeah.
70% intimate.
Right. Very disarming, actually. Strict versus lenient. I think you're incredibly lenient, but
thank you.
You do like to call out when people are wrong about stuff. You love an "I told you so." So I'll say that's 10% strict, because you actually secretly hold people to a high standard that you don't really judge. You don't punish them for, but you like to deride them on, if that makes sense.
Feisty versus gracious. You are, I don't understand why feisty and gracious are two different things. Like, if you don't have any graciousness, you're feisty. And if you're feisty, you have no gratitude. I don't understand this one. I'll just leave it in the middle.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I think I'm actually both, but probably more gracious. Selfish versus altruistic. I don't think you're selfish at all, but I wouldn't say you're altruistic. You
I'm not out there volunteering.
Because I do think you're a nihilist. I think you don't care that much about anything. So I'm just gonna have to say 75% altruistic.
Oh, thank you. Disarming versus creepy. You're more disarming. Nobody's really creeped out by you, but like, you almost like you wouldn't even return stuff at a restaurant if they gave you the wrong item. Style. Disarming.
Right.
You're
right,
like,
right.
I don't want to come off
I'm
as
conflict
like pushy or
averse.
needy or creepy. Yeah.
For sure.
So I'll go 82% disarming.
All right, we've got 7 questions left. Let's hammer them home. Arcane versus mainstream. I think you're very mainstream. I'll say 90% mainstream. Sports.
Selfish versus altruistic. I'll give you 70% altruistic. You're not very selfish.
Thank you. Indulgent versus sober.
I just got this one for you.
I think you're not. I would almost say 50-50, because I don't think you're like sober like you don't give yourself anything that you need, but you don't overdo it. You're truly 50-50.
Yeah, I guess you're more indulgent than sober, even though you literally don't drink alcohol anymore. But you don't necessarily cut yourself off from life's pleasures. So I'll go 70% indulgent.
Feisty versus gracious. I think I'll do the exact same thing, 50-50 for you, because it does not make that much sense. And it's
awkward,
basically
charming. You're much more charming than awkward.
Thank you.
Again, almost to your own detriment. Will not return a cold hamburger at a diner.
I think it's the greatest hamburger I ever got.
95% charming, 5% awkward.
I love that. Spiritual versus skeptical. I think you're 95% honestly 98% skeptical.
Yeah, you got to live that 2% skim, though. That low fat, though. Genius v. Dunce. This one's
big. You think I'm smart or not really?
Well, you called me kind of a dunce. Wasn't that the one that I was a little bit offended by?
Yeah.
Or is that something else?
That
was
one.
book smart versus street smart. I would say you're more street smart than book smart. I think this is more an academic question.
Yeah.
So I'll go 60% dunce, 40% genius.
You could have gone higher. I wouldn't have been offended.
You used to be more, but you're getting more genius.
Thank you. Angelic versus demonic. I think you're not very demonic, but you're not really angelic. So I have to, you can't be more
I do have the gambling in me.
Right.
I do like gambling, which is a vice.
So 70% angelic. You're mostly good, but you have a vice.
Okay. Poisonous versus nurturing. Again, this is just, we're going back to what you used to be v what you are now. I can only judge you by the man you've become.
Thank you.
Which is more nurturing than poisonous. Again.
But I have a wild side.
Yeah, so I'll go 70-30 nurturing versus poisonous.
Masculine versus feminine. You're not very feminine. I'll say you're 70% masculine.
70?
I'll say you're
That's
60%
funny.
masculine.
60. Really?
Keep on talking and it's going to get lower.
Because I wear panties sometimes.
70% masculine.
40% feminine. Yeah. Frugal v lavish. This one I got to go more lavish than frugal.
That's fair.
You don't mind breaking the bank for some comfort. But at the same time, I have seen you write into customer support demanding a refund, which is
as long as I'm not seeing them in
frugal-adjacent
person.
behavior.
Yeah, I can be. I'm conflict presenting if I'm behind a screen.
Email. So I'll go lavish. 80 to 20 frugal.
Loyal versus traitorous. You are incredibly loyal. I have to admit it. 98% loyal.
I'll go nerd jock on this one. I wanted us to be 50-50 together. I think you put me at a little bit higher of a nerd.
Yeah.
So I'll go a little bit higher of a jock for you, 60-40 jock.
All right, this is the last question. Charming versus awkward. I think you have a lot of confidence. So even though some people might think you would be awkward, you're actually not very awkward. You're 75% charming.
All right. Artistic, scientific for you. Probably more artistic than scientific, 65% to 35%. And lastly, orderly versus chaotic. This one's tough because you do say you don't have a home base right now. You're constantly running around.
Yeah.
And your schedule is kind of all over the place,
That's
but pretty
true.
regimented. Let's go right in the middle. 50-50 orderly chaotic.
Yeah, that actually, goddamn, that unfortunately
Is that
sounds
fair?
really right. Yeah, but I don't want to be the
But you want to be
chaotic,
more
but
orderly.
yeah, I would love that. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll reveal the results.
Holy shit. I'm scared. Are you more scared or confident? 70% scared.
Yeah.
Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode of our program.
Yes, sir.
Squarespace, the greatest, easiest, most affordable way to build a website. Jake, you've used them.
Many times. Many times.
So you know that you don't need to be a designer. You can just use simple drag and drop technology. You don't need to be a coder. You just creates the website for you. You can even build a store and buy a domain name through Squarespace.
It's perfect. They do it all.
It's incredible. But what kind of domain name is still available after all these years?
Could be dope. Couldbedope.com. You know, when somebody suggests something, you're like, that could be dope. Could be dope.
That could be.
That could be dope. That website, that could be dope.
Yeah, like somebody suggesting like a wobbly boy or something.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Wobbly boy, that could be dope.
Like a wobblyboy.com.
Oh.
Like a wobblyboy.com, which is available.
I didn't realize there's a website. I thought it was just you're suggesting a wobbly boy. Yeah.
Yeah, wobblyboy.com, which is available. So if you want to buy that or Jake's suggestion or your own domain name,
Either one could be dope.
the greatest way to do it all is to go to squarespace.com/segments.
Right.
You can try a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, just use that coupon code segments for 10% off their already low prices.
Exactly.
How cool is that? You go to squarespace.com/segments. You save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using code segments.
Boom.
Thank you, Squarespace.
Thanks.
All right, we're back. We went from 50 segments last week to one really long one this week. This is part 3 of our personality survey.
Yeah, and we rushed through it. We really could have gotten deep on all of these, but we are going to get the results now, and they are going to be very satisfying. So here,
Okay, you want to go first or should I?
you go. You can go first.
Okay, I'll say get my results, which is basically the results for you.
Mm-hmm.
The best match between self-assessment you've provided and the profile of a fictional character as rated. Your character is, drum roll please. This is good because you've actually seen Game of Thrones. Jaime Lannister.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen Game of Thrones, which honestly means you're more of a nerd and less of a jock. We should go back and change those answers. But what does Jaime Lannister mean?
That's actually incredibly accurate because at the start of the show, he's kind of like an evil dipshit guy. He is having sex with his sister, which is not
right, that guy.
relevant to me
And
at
you've
all.
only like hooked up, right? You've not even like
Relax.
sexed
Relax.
at all.
But
At
he has an arc where he kind of becomes like a heroic. He has a redemption arc. He pushes a kid out the window in the first episode, but by the end, he's kind of a reformed. He's basically a reformed fuckboy, except the person he's hooking up with is his sister.
Can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
And you do kind of look like Jaime Lannister.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. For you, the best match between the self-assessment you provided and the profile of a fictional character is rated by other people who have taken this survey is the character Leonard Hofstadter. Do you know who that is?
Who?
It's
Leonard Hofstadter?
Yeah, Leonard Hofstadter. He's from The Big Bang Theory.
Of course.
Not Sheldon.
The guy with glasses.
Yes, exactly. Oh, but this is actually interesting. I changed the algorithm. Instead of Pearson correlation, it's the mean difference. I don't know what that means, but
That means to make him Jewish.
yeah. And with that, you get a different answer, which I think is pretty accurate. Your 81% match for Chandler Bing.
Okay, now we're talking, baby. Give me Chandler Bing.
Yes.
Sarcastic, funny, kind of charming, but a little bit awkward. Played by the late, great Matthew Perry, we should say.
Yeah.
So
Respect.
That's actually a really good one. Although I find myself in my old age rooting for Ross more than Chandler. As a teenager watching Friends, I was definitely Chandler inspired / coded. And yes, he had a job that nobody knew about, that they couldn't understand what he did, but he was somewhat successful in that job. He was, he ended up with Monica, which is pretty good lady partner wise.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was a handsome guy at the end of the day. So I'm not too mad about Chandler. I changed yours to mean difference, and it stayed as Jaime Lannister.
Interesting.
So you are just Lannister through and through.
Top to bottom. You could also change
Which is
the
funny because
universe.
isn't it like a Lannister never doesn't pay their debt or something?
No, a Lannister always pays their debts.
Right. But you owe me $21,000.
Do I then?
Yeah. we didn't really get to that, but you're kind of eschewing your debt. I wonder if that changes anything,
Right.
Lannister wise for you.
Now I think I'm taking this weird survey that I think if I take, I'm able to unlock more of more answers for you. So
More answers or more characters that I could be like?
more characters that you could be like. So with that, no. Oh, yeah, here we go. Your complete
I'm now Barney.
Your
the
complete
dinosaur
match
from
list.
Barney.
If I just took that one little quiz,
Survey,
you are
right.
number 1, Chandler Bing. Number 2, again, Leonard Hofstadter. Number 3, Artie Abrams from Glee. Number 4, Dr. Chan K. Fang from Space Force. 5, Jimmy Price from Hannibal. I don't know any of these people.
I don't know any of these people either.
Oh, Jim Halpert. 79% Jim Halpert from The Office.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really nice. 79% Eric Foreman from That 70s Show.
That's also a good one.
Yeah.
You should really just give it to me in sitcoms. Otherwise, I don't really know.
79% Eduardo Saverin from The Social Network.
That's awesome. I want Garfield's hair and accent in that movie.
79% Kumail Nanjiani from The Big Sick. Just Kumail. Not even the character he played.
Just the actor.
Did he play himself? I didn't see the movie.
He did. He played Kumail. Well, not like specifically Kumail, but yeah, he played himself as a character.
Very good.
Yeah.
Also, actually, when I click All Prestige TV,
Yeah.
you're 79% Ken Cosgrove from Mad Men.
That's cool. Is he the one that says Ollie Ollie oxen free during the party, and then somebody gets their foot run over with a lawnmower?
Yes, I do believe so.
Yeah. That is what I base my personality off of.
Yeah.
Let me hit All Prestige TV for you. You are not going to believe it. It's Lannister.
Well, yeah, 'cause
I can't fucking shake Lannister.
Do all comedy, because that'll shake Lannister for you.
Okay. Then you're down to Jules, aka Emma Stone's character in Superbad.
Okay.
Which is,
I don't know that
not
one.
really sure what or why. For classic literature, Jay Gatsby. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I actually changed the universe to Beauty and the Beast, and you're a 76% match for Maurice, which is Belle's
I'm
dad.
the fucking teacup. Actually, you're now a 90% match for Chip.
Yeah.
The little fucking teacup twink that couldn't say anything.
But,
just followed his little mommy around.
Will
for the
you?
entire-
Yeah. Will you do Beauty and the Beast for me? Let's just see what Beauty and the Beast characters we are, and then we can call it an episode.
You're Mr. Hanky, the Christmas boo.
Really?
Let's see. Beauty and the Beast. Why don't I see that? Is it? Oh, here we go. You are Lumiere, the candelabra.
So sexy.
I'm 3 candles. All right. I think we learned a lot about each other.
I certainly did.
Let us know if you agreed with Jake's perception of me, or if you're more of a my perception of me. That's right. Somebody who's outgoing and a lot jockier than this guy thinks I am.
We should take it for ourselves and then compare the results, but we'll do that next week. We'll take the entire quiz again.
No. We have to at least take one episode off in between. Or let's just take it for ourselves and we'll
Offline,
display
yeah.
what the results were. Yeah.
That's better.
Okay. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to vote tomorrow if you haven't yet. And
Right on.
to watch more of us, you can go to patreon.com/JA.
Exactly.
And we're going to be in Chicago on November 14th. So you can go out and watch us IRL.
Oh, yeah.
Go to headgum.com/live for tickets.
See you in Chicago.
See you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That was a Headgum original.